Welcome once again to Cheesy Dan Reviews. As always, I'm Cheesy Dan. Today on the plate, we're going to have Papajohn's Tuscan 6 cheese. Now, this is not a new offering from them. However, it's one I have not had in a while, mainly because I usually have a preference for just either their standard cheese with extra cheese or stuffed crust cheese. Back when they had it, I loved their Alfredo.
I miss you so much.
However, the Tuscan 6 cheese, it's got 6 kinds of cheese, and that's right up my alley. So we definitely need to give it a try. And then we'll be able to find out if this cheese is worth your dough. So stick with me as we find out. To determine if this cheese is worth your dough, we're going to judge it based on its appearance, its day one taste, its value. Take a slice and stick it in the fridge. Come back on day 3 for the reheat. We'll take all 4 scores, add them together, divide them by 4, and then we'll know the cheesy score. Let's open up the box and see what we got. Well, I'll say this. Overall, first impressions, pretty good. You know, they did have a spot here, a couple little things here and there where you can see the sauce poking through. Overall, pretty good finish though. You can definitely see some of the cheeses. You know, this one being a 6 cheese, it features Parmesan, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Provolone, and mozzarella. And you can definitely see a little bit of the coloration variations in the slices. Not a lot of grease here, which is great. And the crust itself it really looks like it's cooked very well. It's not overdone. It does not look burnt. So I would say they did a good job cooking it. As far as an initial appearance score, I would say I'll put this one at an 8. It is a good looking pizza, just a few spots that could have done a little bit better. And while you can't smell it through the phone, it does have a really good smell to it. Now, let's see which slice should we pick. Now, looking at the pizza here, you tell me. I'm gonna go with this one right here. So let's go ahead and pull that one out. That one tore a little bit. All right, so we're gonna go with that slice. Now you can see here on the back, on the front, it is evenly cooked all the way around. You can kind of see a little bit of the thickness of the cheese there, so it does have quite a bit of cheese to it. Now before I take this bite, I do want to address the value portion. This one, if you don't order it with their specialty offers, it's like 26 bucks,
Yikes.
which is way too much in my opinion for a cheese pizza. Now, they do have a deal which is pretty consistent in my area where it's a large 5-topping or a specialty pizza, and that came out to like $16.80 plus tax. That's quite a bit more reasonable. But keep in mind, if you do get their large 1-topping carryout, it's $10.99. So this is like a $6 premium over a standard large with a topping.
They'll rob you blind if you ain't watching.
I'm going to say, as far as value goes, I'm going to put this one at a 3 just because I feel like it is very pricey for what is nothing more than essentially a large extra cheese. They're just swapping out the cheese types. So I do feel like it is quite expensive for that. But let's go ahead and let's give it its day one taste. Now, if you're familiar with the Papajohn's brand, the crust itself is going to be exactly what you expect it to be. Not too thick, not too thin, good consistency. They do like using a sweet dough, so it's got that taste to it. Their sauce, very consistent, again, being a chain style restaurant. So you've got a good semi-sweet sauce. The cheese, actually very good. I'm not going to say I have the ability to pick out all 6 of the cheeses. I'm just not that good, but I can definitely tell that there is more than one type of cheese. You can definitely taste, I guess, if I was to pick one, I feel like I'm tasting a little bit of the Romano and a little bit of the Provolone and mozzarella, not 100% on the others, but very good taste profile. I would say this one you could describe as more of a bold cheese flavor. So this one, as far as initial day one score, I feel pretty confident I could put this one at a 7.5. The only reason I wouldn't hit it any higher is it is good Not exceptional, but definitely a good pizza. It's not, it's not something you're going to go tell your friends, hey, they need to go try this. But you will definitely enjoy this pizza, and I think it'd be something you might order every now and then when you're feeling like getting something special. Now, as far as day 3 goes, you know what we need to do? We need to pick out a slice and see if you pick out the right one for our day 3. So showing you here the pizza, starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take a guess at which one you think I'm gonna pick for my day 3. And when we come back on day 3, I'll let you know which one I picked. Now that we've got it out of the fridge, let's take a look at it. Now you can actually see now that the pizza has been in the fridge, you can really see a lot of the different features of the cheese and some of the different spices and things that they put in there. But overall, just like most Papa John's, it does refrigerate quite well. There's really no issues here. But you know what we got to do? Let's heat it up so we can give it its test. Now that it's heated up, if you stuck with me since the beginning of the video, you'll know that I gave you the opportunity to guess which slice I was going to pick for the day 3. If you guessed slice number 2, you guessed correctly. So good job. We're going to let this one cool off just a tiny bit, and then let's give it a taste. Now that it's cooled off a little bit, let's take one more look before we take a bite. You can, of course, see the bottom did cook up a little bit more just because the putting it in the air fry oven, it's going to do that a little bit. But not a bad looking pizza. Looks like it held itself together. And let's go ahead and give it that taste. Now, historically, Papa John's have been as good as any other pizza I've had when it comes to putting them in the fridge and coming back on day 3. This one, a little bit different. Not bad, but normally with a Papa John's, it either tastes the same or maybe just even a little bit less, little degradation. This one, a little bit more. I would say that while this one on day 1 was a 7.5, I'll probably put this one at more like a 6 for day 3. Overall, I guess maybe it's just the amount of different cheeses that are in there. You can tell a little bit of the aging on the cheese itself. The crust tastes fine. I don't really notice a big difference, although I guess there's a small aftertaste of the sauce itself. But overall, I think it's because the large amount of cheeses that are on here, the variety, that probably affects its ability to hold, I guess. Whereas just the standard mozzarella Papa John's, it's definitely good on day 3. In fact, I've probably pushed those 5-6 days.
You must think I'm a monster.
So with this one having a day 3 score of a 6, that brings this one to a final cheesy score of 6.125. That ties us with with the California Pizza Kitchen 4-cheese pizza. That brings it just below Tommy G's and, below even, the standard epic stuffed crust cheese pizza. A lot of what hurts the score on this one is the value. As I mentioned on day 1, it is kind of pricey for what it is, in my opinion. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit different than what you've been usually getting, you're always getting the same just mozzarella cheese, and you just want to change it up a little, it's not a bad option. I just think for the price, it's not something that you would want to have very often when you consider how much it is versus just a standard large 1-topping cheese pizza. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and if you've got some critiques or comments for different things you'd like to see us do differently, hey, put those down in the comments. Or maybe pizzas that I haven't got a chance to review yet, put that in the comments as well. Now, I've also kind of made a shift in the way I look at the reviews, whereas when I first started off, my thought was every pizza starts at a 10 and it works its way backwards. After just a couple of videos, I kind of realized the better way to score these was simply put every score starts at a 5, which is average. If the price is cheaper than it normally would be, it can go up from a 5. If it's more expensive than an average, it goes down. Same thing with taste. A pizza is an average pizza unless it's better than average, then it's above a 5. Or if it's worse than average, it's below a 5. So keep that in mind when you look at my scores. You know, if it's a high score, it's not because it's perfect, it's just because it's so much better than the average. Or if it's a low score, it's not because it's horrible per se, although it could be. It's because it just came in so much lower than average in taste or value or any of those things. So keep that in mind when you're looking at my reviews. But as always, until we eat again, stay cheesy.